Hey y'all, welcome back to the Pink Envelope. Let's do some curl talk. It's been a hot minute since I've done curl talk, and I was like, I think it's time. I have a new, I guess semi-new way that I love to do my curls, and so I finally filmed it with you guys. Product varies a little bit from like wash to wash, mainly shampoo and conditioner. I have 3 or 4 favorites that I use. For this video, I'm using the Love Your, ooh, these still have water in them. The Love Your Curls line. I do have all of these products linked below with coupon codes, so you can check them out. My favorite tools to use, and this is kind of the non-negotiable for me. I don't have a lot of stylers I love. Shampoos and conditioners, yes. Stylers, no. And so for me, the Ecoslay products, the orange marmalade as my styler, and the rice pudding leave-in conditioner, fantastic. So, another caveat. I do rotate my leave-in conditioners. The rice pudding and the blueberry bliss are 2 that I love. This orange marmalade is a non-negotiable for my hair. I use it every single wash, and it is by far the most amazing product I have found that balances out for my hair type, which is 2C 3A high porosity. And if you're like, what is all of that? I do have a hair quiz down below, so you can go take that hair quiz and it'll tell you about your curls so you can search the right types of products for your curls, waves, coils, or kinks. Those are the 4 different types. I'm going to walk you step by step. Film in the shower, so I'm going to voice over to kind of walk you through. Some parts, and especially in the drying process, might be a little redundant, so feel free to skip through to get to the most crucial part. And the one thing I need to remind you is this process is the same, the end result changes. So you see my hair today, it decided to do a little swoop. This is what we look like. Same process, but next time you might have a little bit different curl pattern. That's the fun part of doing your curls this way, washing with these products. You get a little variety. So without further ado, here is my all-time favorite way to wash my curls. All right, here we go. This is what my hair typically looks like on that final day. It's wild and crazy and wants nothing to do with water. I often do a clarifying or detoxing shampoo if I've gone the full 7 or maybe 8 days between washing, just to make sure I am really eliminating any buildup and allowing that hair follicle to just get clean, but most importantly, my scalp to get clean. I have found if I do not scrub my scalp well, I will experience flaking, and that is so annoying. Not to mention, it smells so much better when you fully get your scalp clean. And back here in the back is such a tricky spot to get to. So spend some extra time with your product and your tools, scrubbing. I promise you won't regret it. So I do see my hair and my scalp as 2 different things. So as you notice, then I was focusing just on my scalp, getting it fully clean. Now I'm going back to focus on the follicle of hair and getting it clean. I just process easier in sectioning it this way. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I just want both sections to be really clean, and with low porosity hair, it has a tendency to reject product and to reject water, and it wants to stay dry in a closed follicle. So I like to just take my time finessing it, getting it clean, and oh yeah, removing so much shed. We joke that I rinse, and then rinse again because my hair just does not accept water at first. Eventually it'll get on board and you'll see the difference as this goes on. But at first it just doesn't want to. So I go slow, making sure I'm rotating back and forth, right to left, separating, portioning, or what do you want to call it, splitting my hair open so that the water can get through that thick hair and onto my scalp so that we can rinse away impurities. One of the things with using these clean products is that they don't have a lot of chemicals to clean your hair. They're clean, like essential oils and shea butter based products. So the actual friction you create with the scrubbing brush in your hands and the water is what lifts and removes the dirt. So it is very important that you do that, like put the energy, put the time into scrubbing. Now note, Don't ever use your fingernails. You don't want to damage your hair. You don't want to damage your scalp. You're not trying to scratch it off. You want to lift and rinse, which is why these tools that I show you here are a great way to clean. So you'll see I'm going after my scalp here. I'm getting the scalp and any of the hair touching my scalp clean. That detox shampoo has prepared my hair for the regular shampoo. And now I'm moving over to the follicles of hair and getting each of those clean. Lots of water. I will sprinkle water in on this because water and product do so good together. You do not want to let your hair dry out. It'll give the ability to get more of a lather and more of a thorough cleanse if your hair is staying moist enough. Oh yeah, we're still going back in. I use a lot of shampoo, but I only shower once a week, typically my hair, so it gives me the ability. But as you see right there, see the center of my scalp? That hair is still not all the way wet, and I have rinsed it in 2 cycles at this point. Rinsing is the name of the game. I want to make sure all product is out of my hair, plus any gunk and yuck and whatever it has picked up is thoroughly being rinsed out. Then I move into conditioning, which is where this starts to take a turn into more of the beauty routine and getting my hair prepped to become curls again. I also use a lot of conditioner. I don't apply conditioner straight to my scalp. I put it near my scalp, but I focus my conditioner on the hair alone. Whatever residual conditioner ends up on my scalp is good, but if you get too much on there, it'll weigh down your hair, weigh down your root, and you'll have a hard time getting good lift. So very liberally spread a bunch of conditioner throughout your hair so that we can start rebuilding that moisture, which is how we are going to get our hair brushed out and all the tangles and knots out. And it's also how we start developing our curls. I always first go in with a wide tooth comb to knock out the knots, starting at the very bottom of my hair, and as I remove the knots, moving up to my scalp. I'm also removing shed and excess hair that is just caught in there through this process. It is not a fast process. It's pretty slow and honestly monotonous, but it makes a huge change in the end style if you get it completely brushed out with this comb. Next, I come in with my Denman brush. There's several different types of these brushes. I bought this one years ago. I love it, so I've never replaced it, but any brush like this. Brush your hair to remove fine, tiny baby tangles that are in there and brush away from your scalp, lifting up and out to give a good root lift. And do this throughout all of your hair. This is just the final step to creating those beautiful curl clumps with the product once you are out of the shower. Reminder, do not let your hair dry out. You do want your hair to stay pretty wet through this process, as moisture is the key for a successful curl. Ooh, look at that shed. So shed changes each time. This is about medium-low shed for me. Don't judge your hair based on mine. Everybody's hair is so different. But yes, expect a decent amount of shed if you only wash your hair once a week. Okay, hopping back into rinsing. With Love Your Curls, I do thoroughly rinse all of the product out. There are some other brands that you can leave some residual conditioner in that final step. Read the bottle and it will let you know. But for this particular one, I do rinse 100% of the product out. And my goodness gracious, if you cannot tell, I hate water on my face. Hence the faces that I am making in desperation to not even let one drop land on my face. So it's up to you when you want to put stylers in. I like to add my leave-in conditioner while still in the shower because my hair, as you can see from the back, is dripping wet. You don't want it dripping so much that it's soaking and all your product just slips out, but it needs to be very, very wet for this to be successful. So make sure you don't dry it out too much or you keep adding water so that as you put that product in, it will be absorbed by your hair and it will disperse in your hair equally. Doing a great job of showing that to y'all right now. My goodness gracious. There we go. It's a little better. I am just scrunching and raking it throughout all of my hair. Once again, not on my scalp, focusing this product to be on the hair follicle itself. This is my orange marmalade. This is actually my styler. I just put a little bit in while in the shower as like a prep to actual styling. So here's a disclaimer. As much as I love orange marmalade, these bottles that Ecoslay sends are terrible. This is like my third or fourth one. They just don't dispense the product very well, but if that's my number one complaint, I accept. So same thing, work the orange marmalade styler throughout your hair. Once again, do not put it on the scalp, do not put it on the root. Once you've worked it throughout, we will move into the next stages of styling where we will put a whole lot more of that in. All right, this is where the fun starts. Orange marmalade, my styler. I'm out of the shower. My hair is still wet, but not quite dripping. I'm gonna put it all throughout. You don't have to put it half in the shower and half out. This is just the habit I've created. I put that first little bit in while in the shower and then the next bit out here. For whatever reason, it works for me. I just want to make sure all of my hair has a little bit of the styler on. And I'm sorry about the ratios here. I forgot to move my phone into landscape and filmed everything in portrait. So we're just gonna make it work. Okay, next up, section. I do remove my bangs, and this varies. I'm taking a very small chunk this time. Y'all have noticed in other videos and photos of me that I've taken a much larger chunk of that. It doesn't matter. Just get you a section of your bangs, make sure it's nice and wet, and clip it up out of the way. Ideally, you never let your hair dry until it's in that diffuser doing its thing. Split down the middle. I like 3 sections for my amount of hair at this length. Not doing the greatest job with this sectioning, which we are about to find out. Ideally, put everything back out of your way. It makes it so much easier to finish the job of drying each section well and not cross-drying another section. Rectified that. Got 2 little space buns. Now the section we're gonna work on. Make sure it is wet. You want it to squish and scrunch when you're like moving your hands throughout it. So I use a water bottle very often to maintain that moisture level. And then very, very generously apply your orange marmalade via a scrunching. You can do raking if you would like a thinner curl. I like curl clumps, and I'm going for more of a clump in this style. So you're gonna see less raking and separating my curls and more patting, petting, and scrunching to disperse the product throughout. And I like a solid crunch to scrunch out, so I put a ton of product in. You don't have to put quite that much. Okay, so once it's dispersed, I like to brush it to make sure that it moves throughout all of my hair. Wet it down again. This is like my last coat I put on before the magic happens. But here's where I'm creating those organized, bigger curl clumps. If you want more stringy curls or beach curls, skip the Denman brush and just go straight into the diffuser while your curls are all crazy and fun. But for this one, we're going for curl clumps. Now this blow dryer is an investment. I saved up 2 rounds of birthday money and Christmas money to get this guy, but it is so worth it. So this is the Dyson dryer with the Dyson diffuser, and I blow dry my hair with this exclusively because it is amazing. But before putting it into the dryer bowl, I take this microfiber cloth, this one's from Diva Curl, and I scrunch out all of that excess water. But I only do it for the section that I'm getting ready to dry. I settle the curl in with the blow dryer off. Once my hair is curled around all the little teeth, I turn it on medium heat, medium speed, and I let it dry. Very, very important. And what I am numbering, number 1 most important to remember, do not move that blow dryer. Do not move it. Leave it stationary until the hair is completely dry. Yes, it's annoying. I do recommend putting in AirPods and watching a podcast or something, but the less you move it, the less frizz you will have. So when you drop it out, you can test it. Here I am deciding I want it to go a little bit longer. I want it to be between 75 and 85% dry, and this felt like it was a little bit under. So the dryer's off during all this movement. Now that the curl is settled again, I will turn it on. I only blow dry ever at medium speed. I do start off at medium heat, and then I wrap up on low or cool. so that the curl can set without releasing in the dryer. Now these guys come into play. Pinning your curls is key to keeping a curly curl curly while it's finishing drying, not letting gravity stretch out your curl. So I just scoop it up in my hand. At this point, it's probably, this looks like it's about 85-ish% dry, and pin it with a couple of pins. And I leave it to finish drying like this. It is a game changer for having beautiful curls. And depending on how busy you are, you can dry it less. I would not dry it more. You never want to dry to a full 100% because it will cause frizz. Then you just move to the next section. And you might have noticed I sectioned that one section into 3 sections when it comes to drying. So I'm going to scrunch out just the one I'm about to dry, the excess water. Dryer's off, settling the hair in. Once I've got the hair where I want it in the diffuser bowl, I will turn it on medium speed, medium heat. Turning the blow dryer off, I release that curl. Look at that. Look how much it shrinks. Isn't that wild? Doing the same thing, capturing up that curl and I'm gonna pin it because I don't want it to move. I really do want it to be as still as possible so it can finish drying and maintain the curliness. I have so many of these little clips. I do have those linked so that you can grab some. They are a lifesaver both for drying and then for in general styling. And as you can see, we're starting to create that wash day final look. It's a doozy, y'all. All right, finishing up that final section from this side. Probably should have dried that a little bit more. You can tell it's wet, but we're pinning it. It'll be fine. So, ta-da, here's our look. Number 3, very important. Do not touch those curls until they're completely dry. I tried to wear this all day long. The longer they can stay there, the more dry and firm they'll get. So when you scrunch out that crunch, you have a beautiful curl. Moving on to the next section, getting it nice and wet. So you're gonna do everything you did at the first section, but since this hair has been around the dryer, you're going to have to put moisture back into it. When you were scrunching, I literally want to hear a quick, quick, quick sound. Then brush it out and you seriously rinse and repeat. One of the perks of this process is I listen to so much and watch so much. It's the perfect time to throw on your headphones or AirPods or whatever and just enjoy a series because you're going to be here for a minute doing the same process over and over, but it actually can be quite therapeutic and relaxing to just kind of have this spa time. All right, let's do this front section, which I call my bangs. Obviously, moisturize because at this point, it has been with the dryer for such a long time. Once it's wet, scrunch in your product and follow the same process. Now, I took a very small section this time, so I am gonna split it in 2, but I do not like to split it down the center and then end up with a butt cut type situation. So be cognizant of where you split it when you're prepping it into sections for drying. Normally, I have a section larger than this and I split it into 3, so I have a left, right, and center, and that's kind of the perfect mix. But in this case, you'll see how to pull it off if you only have 2, but you don't want to end up with that awkward split.
And voila, we have our final look. I literally walk around all day like this. So as you can imagine, I don't go far.
I will literally cruise the rest of my day looking like this. I will not go to HEB. That's a bit much, but I will pick my kids up from school. I will tie this up in a scarf and run to UPS to pick up packages. I've become that mom, but on the day where I'm doing the dedicated hair wash, like TLC day, it's not worth unpinning or messing with the curls till I'm going to bed. I'm gonna go about my day, letting them finish drying like this. I will come back and show you my hair before I put it into my sleep cap tonight.
This part is always fun. So it's been drying all day. These are 100% dry curls. I'm going to remove all of these little clips. I'm trying to shake them out, not strip them out. I don't want to create frizz. I want that curl to stay intact. And as you can see, it's really intact. Then from here, once I know they're all out, which is kind of tricky, I rock this do. I do not scrunch out that crunch. I leave that crunch to let my sleeping scrunch it out naturally. That's just how I prefer to do it. So I grab my sleep cap. I do have those linked on Amazon. I've been wearing these for years and I love them. And gingerly pile my curls into the cap. It is a bit tricky, especially on day 1. Day 2, 3, 4, 5 gets easier. But this one is, it's really stiff and really poofy. So once I have all my curls tucked in, I pull that sucker down over my ears. I do not want bugs crawling in my ears at night, and I feel like I keep hearing horror stories. So I feel like this sleep cap does a multitude of goodness for me. I have this look, quite fancy. I throw on my eyebrow and fall asleep. The next morning, complete with my Frownies, which, by the way, I should totally link those for y'all. I freaking love these things. This is my all-natural, very affordable alternative to Botox. I slide all this off, and here is what we got. The curls are pretty scrunched out at this point. I'm mainly just doing fluffing and separating the chunks that are really big, and I want them to be not quite so chunky. You can see the curls hold in well. Got a little bit of separation in the center, which you'll notice will go away really, really quickly. But yeah, I just love the results. I do not do any more unscrunching from this point. I literally just rock this look for the remainder of the day. Here is the finished look. All I did was add a few pins, bobby pins, and moved on. The only thing that changed between the two photos, except my makeup and outfit, of course.
And that's it. It honestly is a very quick, easy process. I do it 1 time a week. I wash my hair once a week, sometimes twice. That is very few and far between. So the curls you're looking at here, let me think about this. I washed my hair yesterday. So this is what the curls look like. I had Bible study today, which means I was like leaning over and doing this, so I wanted my bangs back. You don't have to pin up that much. You can change the way you pin every single time as well. So I do day 1 in the clips, day 2 like this, day 3 like this, day 4 like this, day 5 in a pony, day 6 in a pony, day 7 / wash, depending on where we fall there, but day 7 in a pony, then wash if we need to. And that kind of flexes by a day or two. Sometimes I wash on the 6th day, sometimes I wash on the 8th day. It depends on what is going on during the week. If you have any questions, please put them below. I would love to help you find that go-to set of products and processes because it is life-giving. When you have a quick, easy routine that you can run through, I mean, only washing your hair 1 to 2 times a week is a huge time saver. If you want to see more on curls, I have some OG stuff that you can go check out on my curl playlist here on YouTube. And if you're wondering how I find these products, I find them via the unboxing videos that I do with you guys. I order them or they're sent to me, unbox them with you guys, test them out, and then the ones that I love show up in these videos. I do have an entire Amazon list of products that I love linked below. A like to know it list. I have several different ways you can get it. Once again, it's all linked below. So if you're an Amazon shopper, go there. If you want to shop independently like Target, Walmart, your local grocery store, check out the LTK links. All right, you guys, I hope that you are having an absolutely beautiful day. And if at any point during the video you hit subscribe, it means I'll see you later. Bye, y'all.